So please state your name for the camera. Also, actually, I'm going to start over. So, what is your full name and what is your major?
My name is Clark Neely. I am a communication design major.
My name is Adam Brandt and I am a music ed major.
My full name is Joseph Preston Schultz. My major is elementary education, pre-K through 4.
Jamal Anthony Marsh, major, sports management. I usually like the name all.
My name is Justin Callan. I'm a criminal justice major.
My name's Steve Schmittinger and I'm a business major.
I'm Micah Holmes and I'm a computer science major.
Jake Thomas, general business.
Martin Vandegrift, and my major is general business. I'm dropping out.
My name is Matthew Coleman. My major is accounting and finance.
My name is Melanie Wallace and I'm an elementary and special education major.
My name is Noah Morris and I am a finance major here at Kutztown.
My name is Miranda DeRosa and I'm a psychology major.
Trace Weiler, I'm an accounting major.
My name is Alex Schwartz. My major is CTM.
I'm Luke Williams. I am a secondary education major with a concentration in social studies.
My name is Austin Stafford and I'm an accounting major.
Yeah. What were your first thoughts upon seeing your room?
Small. Looked like a prison.
Very bare. Not a lot. A lot of space, but not a lot of stuff.
I thought it was small to want to share with someone else. And then I was like, you know what? We can make this work. I'll get half, he'll get half. Then it was more like I get a quarter, he got 3/4.
My first thought is that it was like really gloomy, because like I didn't turn on the lights for whatever reason, because we had to get here really, really early. So it was just the light coming in from the window. I don't know, like the Bonner Hall in general just kind of looks like a prison. So it was just a very gloomy atmosphere. And I was really stressed out, like in general, because I'm coming to college and all that. So the atmosphere didn't help.
Ah, fuck, here we go again. I was a CA here at Bonner my sophomore year. It was a terrible experience. I had a shitty boss that didn't care, and the desk receptionist and other CAs treated me like other shit. So I really did not like being on staff. But the thing is, every year, my freshman year and my sophomore year, freshman year, spring semester, I had a roommate. They were total worse, didn't clean or do anything. So I was like, all right, I'll just suck it up and be a CA because I wanted my single room. I really didn't care about anything else.
I see. So you didn't like the room?
Who would like a room in Bonner?
My first thoughts upon seeing my room were, oh my God, what the hell did I get into here? Because, let's be honest. Look around, it kind of looks like a prison cell a little bit. Cinder block walls, old furniture, all that. Not the best first impression.
It's not like Dixon. Dixon has AC. Bonner doesn't have AC. Feeling some of that Bonner 5th floor air will definitely make you regret living. I'm not gonna lie. But there's some of that too. It's definitely something. It's an experience, not for the weak. Definitely not for the weak.
I thought, wow, what an incredible room, such high ceilings. Walls that you could be very loud in here. Plenty of storage area. It's a great room. I love it.
I thought, man, it sure needs some posters of some rappers on the wall. And then I guess I thought, man, how did Jake already make a mess? It's the first day. That's the other thing I thought. Before I even got there, it was already a giant. Before I ever saw this room, it was already a mess.
Honestly, it wasn't that bad. I liked the blue doors. I think they were pretty cool. I liked how there was like a little rail to put your bath towel on.
I was a little overwhelmed. I'm a CA, so we have a single room, and in single rooms, you get double the furniture. I was not prepared to have double the furniture, so when I got there, I had moved in early for training and I was very overwhelmed at what I was going to do with all of this stuff that I didn't really need. I figured it out and I actually use everything that I have in my room, so there's not really like wasted space. So I'm much more comfortable in my room now than I was when I first got here.
I thought it was a little bland, kind of like a prison cell, as you can probably tell with the white walls. But I like it now. I feel like I kind of customized it, made it my own, and like, it's still a little plain, but you know, it's a nice room for what it's worth.
They put the furniture really weird. Like they put everything into one corner. Like they put both the closets in one corner, both the desks in one corner, and then not my roommate's side was just the bed and that's it. I saw Lehigh's room and Bonner didn't look too much different, honestly. The cinder block walls was a little off-putting, but honestly, it's a freshman dorm room. I knew coming in here there was gonna be no air conditioning.
I'd say my first thoughts upon seeing my room was it was significantly bigger than my room in Dietrich and a lot taller. And I like how much bigger it was and you know, very spacious. I enjoyed having my own room. You know, getting to have my own room was nice.
Well, when I came in like way before Clark because of I do marching band. So when I came in, it was like all empty. Everything was like to one side of the room. That was like a weird smell. So I was like, this will be fun. I got off a tour, a summer touring the country with a band. So I didn't really have anything either. So the room was very empty, and now it's kind of a mess. But it's all right. There's silverfish that show up every once in a while, which isn't the greatest.
Living in prison. Yeah, I thought it was like a jail cell.
Why did you choose Bonner as your place of living?
Didn't choose it, they chose it for me. I didn't get to select the room, so I just ended up here.
Oh, I just got placed here. Yeah. I was pretty lazy on the whole housing selection over the summer last year. I just got put in here. So
To be totally honest, it was close to the dining hall. Like, I did not do any preparation before coming here. I saw on the map that it was the closest to the dining hall, and that is the sole reason why I picked this hall.
I was assigned it because I didn't do the roommate stuff in time.
Because I misread the times. You can pick your housing from the 25th to the 27th, but I read it as you pick from the 27th to the 29th. So when the 27th came, it was like the afternoon. I was like, okay, I'm a little late, but I saw there was nothing left. It was either I room in Dixon with a furry, or I pick here. So I was like, let me just gamble, and I picked Bonner. That's why I lived here.
Random selection. I did not have a roommate picked. I didn't have a room picked or a dorm building, so I got put in here randomly.
I just kind of didn't interact with college-related things for like the whole summer, unless it was like the really important stuff. I don't know, I was really dreading coming to college, so I was just kind of doing everything in my power to not interact with any of that stuff. And what ended up happening because of that was just that I got random housing, random roommate, random most things. So you get put in Bonner, which is where everybody that doesn't file that stuff goes.
I choose Bonner because I didn't have a choice, and I got a job here, and I had to live here.
I didn't have no choice in the goddamn matter. I was put here by the housing head staff. They put me in Bonner because they said, all right, we don't like Matt, let's put him in Bonner.
Do you have that in writing?
No, but I know it's true because they know I don't care about my job, so they just put me in Bonner. I can't really blame them. It was a good business decision because they put me in Golden Bear Village South. They wouldn't get their money worth.
So, since I'm a CA, I applied to be a CA and I was offered a position here in Bonner. So I didn't necessarily choose Bonner to live here. It was the position I was offered, but I wanted to be a CA, and I was fine with working in Bonner. Happy to work here.
I did not choose Bonner. This was assigned to me when I did not choose a hall to live in. At the far end of the school.
Because I chose Bonner because they like it was the last one. I didn't choose anything, and they just put me in Bonner.
I didn't. It was a random selection. I kind of entirely forgot the housing process last year about this time, and they put me in Bonner with a random who thankfully never showed up.
I did not choose Bonner. I was busy all summer, so I didn't check my emails at all because I didn't have my Kutztown email set up. So by the time I did see it, it was like early August and all the dates were passed. And so I just looked at my roommate and my KU housing, and it was already assigned. So I was like, okay, cool. And then I found out it was the least renovated building on campus, and I was like, okay, we're balling.
Let's be honest. We all didn't pick Bonner. A lot of people living here did not pick Bonner. If you picked Bonner at free will, that's kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Everybody here probably most likely want to go to Dixon, want to go to GB South, want to go anywhere that's not Bonner. What does Bonner benefit? Absolutely nothing. But a nice courtyard, a little bit of communication, because I've also heard from Kat, Bonner is the most, community hall. Everybody knows each other. Everybody has each other's, each other's backs. Everybody knows each other here. But definitely not the hall you would be living in, because there's no benefit to it. And next year, I guarantee you, nobody will be here. I'm gonna be a CA, but that's besides the point. I don't want to live here, but I have to get paid. Simple as that.
How's your relationship with your roommate?
My relationship with my roommate, love my roommate, love Jason. Definitely can have his moments of getting loud. I used to be like that last year, definitely. Not as worse as Jason though, definitely can see that. Wasn't banging on the wall, wasn't doing much. I definitely was screaming to make a point to people online. Love my roommate very much. Always, I got his back, he got mine. We love that. We love that about each other. Very good roommate.
You want to talk about your old roommate?
Oh shit, are we talking about my other roommates? Interesting. If you're out there, I'll be looking for you. But my old roommate, I'm not gonna disclose his name because he knows who he is. You know damn well you shouldn't have talked to me about problems that should be resolved with other people. Why are you trying to talk to me like I'm a father to you? I want that brother bond. I want the bond of us being like brothers. I got his back, he got mine. He's over here talking to me about, tell your friends to stop touching my stuff. Tell my friends to stop touching your stuff. And then screaming at me, talking about, I'm going to report you. What the fuck did I do? My bond with my last roommate, absolute fucking bullshit. Hate him. I don't hate him. He's very cool. This is me being honest. Sorry about that, But definitely me being on the real side. He was very antisocial, very scared to talk to people. And I understood that. I respected that of him. But I also want you to understand that why would you hate me because I'm hanging with people that you don't like? Let's be honest. You're not my girlfriend. You're not my girlfriend. I'm not gonna cut people off because you don't like a certain group. They were, excuse my language, they were talking about shoving a pool stick up your ass, and you were very I feel like I'm rambling. I feel like I'm very much rambling.
Great. I think it's so weird because everyone I know is like, my roommate's fucking terrible. It's so bad and stuff like that. But honestly, Kyle's a great roommate. And I kind of knew I was okay because I remember the first night, I think, the first opening weekend, we really didn't talk. We talked to two guys, which one was Milton, and Milton, not the one on the fifth floor, the one.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, Manjar or whatever, I forget his last name. We talked to him Thursday, And then we were like, yeah, we can talk more tomorrow. And then he left to work at Dorney the entire weekend. And we didn't get his Snapchat, we didn't get his phone number, so we were like, oh shit. And so then Monday comes around, we see him, we're like, Milton! And then by Monday we got to know like the people next to us, like Hudson and Messiah. But yeah, Kyle I think is a good roommate because I remember the first night we had like this deep conversation about our families, and then I kind of felt more comfortable around him. And then I remember, I think it was like a couple weeks later, I was about to go to bed. I was dead tired. It was like 1 a.m. The light's still on. I took out my contacts. I'm like, I don't want to get up and do this light. I don't want to turn off the light. And he looks at me. He sees I'm about to go to bed. He leans over, flicks off the light, and keeps playing video games. I'm like, thank God. And then I fell back to sleep.
Great.
It's pretty good. As far as roommates go, he's a good roommate. We kind of coexist. We're not really like good friends, but he keeps his side of the room clean. We kind of just like coexist. That's basically it.
Great. Oh man, he's my best buddy in the whole wide world. We've known each other for a long time, since we've been infants actually. So we went to high school together, and then we just decided why not live together and go to college together, and it's been wonderful. We met in Mommy and Me swim class. Morty was just a wee lad. He was 2. I was also 2. And we became great friends.
My relationship with my roommate is phenomenal. He's one of my greatest friends. Even though he's a disgusting slob, he's the best. He drives me here all the time. He always picks me up from my house. Overall, he's a great guy. Great times, good times. We're a good team. I believe our first meeting was at swim class and when we were babies. But I don't remember this because I was a baby. But I remember the first time I remember Jake was at my house. We'd already met. I don't remember our original meeting, obviously, but the first time I remember Jake was we were playing in my backyard, and it was a wonderful time.
I think my relationship with my roommate is pretty good. We both
Clark, you might want to leave the room for this.
I think we're both respectful of each other. I don't think we're the cleanest duo, but we don't make each other's sides messy. There's not too many issues. We're good at communicating with each other for the most part. And he also shares similar interests, so I think we get along pretty well. He's not big into band as much as I am, but I'm also not big into wrestling like he is, so.
I'd say my relationship with my roommate is pretty good. We talk a good bit. I feel very fortunate because I know a lot of people, like just on this floor, that have really terrible relationships with their roommates and they like hate each other. So I feel very fortunate that me and my roommate talk a good bit and we get along and we have similar interests. Yeah, we're even rooming together next year as well. So yeah, I feel very lucky.
How's your relationship with your roommate?
No comment. It's there. I don't know. He started talking to me recently and I was really confused because I was like, dude, it's 2 weeks before finals. Why are you just now starting to talk to me? And also, I don't really want to talk to him because it's not good. It's not a good relationship. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know. We don't talk. We just kind of know that there's someone else there. And that's kind of that.
Do you want to talk about the like rotting fruit story?
Oh, the moldy cheese?
Yeah.
What kind of cheese was it? It was like moldy feta cheese, and for like some project that he had to do for his major, he brought moldy cheese in because he was like taking a video of food molding over time. He did that with other foods, but he did it with cheese, and he's like, "Hey man, I brought this here," and I was like, "Why are you telling me that now? Like, this smells like absolute swamp ass. Like, it's not good." And he's like, "It's okay, I'll only be in here for like a week." And I was like, "That's a week too long, dude."
So the next question was going to be, how's your relationship with your roommate? But since you don't have one,
No.
how's living alone?
It's great. I function well independently. And roommates are not for me, but I like sweet mates. I can do sweet mates sometimes.
It's definitely different than living with a roommate. My freshman year, I did live with a roommate. We were good friends though, so it was very comfortable. and we shared things. So I do find that sometimes when, especially at the beginning of the year, there were times where I didn't have everything that I needed, because when I didn't have something, my roommate had something, and I just like borrowed her stuff and then got something later. So that was a bit of a struggle, but it's nice having a place that you can go back to by yourself and be alone. I'm sort of an introverted person, so having a place I can retreat to is important to me.
Awesome. It really, living alone's great. I'm an only child, so I've never had to share anything in my life, so it's probably good I didn't get a roommate, and having that for 1 year, I couldn't go back to sharing. So, CA, free room.
Living in single is very good. We have some characters on the floor that I may not necessarily get along with, you know, but, you know, overall, it's a good experience. You know, as a community citizen, I'll do whatever I can to help out my fellow residents and help foster a community. I can't help it, they don't want to go to my programs or anything, but I will do my best to help them out if they come and ask me for help.
It's great. It's got its pros and cons, definitely. I would say there's more pros. I mean, obviously. But, yeah, I like it.
It's great. I didn't have a roommate last year when I was a freshman. I just lucked out. My first roommate left to go live with his boyfriend off campus, and then I didn't get a roommate my second semester. And then as a CA, you're not required to have a roommate. So, you know, it's just I like it. I mean, next year I'm gonna have roommates in my apartment, but it's cool. It's cool right now.
My roommate is dead. That's my theory, at least.
Let's see. Well, since your roommate's dead, how's living alone?
It's nice, but I try to get out as much as possible.
Do you remember how we met?
You knocked on my door, I think, and then I was like, hello, and I forget exactly what you wanted me to say, but I said it.
I was filming one of my vampire movies, and I knocked on your door, and I was in a vampire outfit, and I was like, hey, when I knock on your door, can you come out and say...
I told you I don't want Girl Scout cookies.
And you close the door.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then...
And then I'd see you in the lounge.
It's true.
It was the first wing meeting, and you were sitting on the floor, and you were like, hey, my name's Jacob. This is Jaden, he's my roommate. Jaden was like, hello. And then wing meeting happened, and then I think we both had questions to ask. I think
I had a question about quiet hours, like doing laundry after quiet hours.
Yeah. I don't know if I had a question or if I just stayed back because I wanted to talk to you. Then we just talked for a bit about like video games.
And then the rest was history.
Yes, sir.
Me and you? No. Oh, actually I do.
Oh, wait, okay.
I think the first time I met you was during the first week. I was busy with band stuff, but I think I just saw you one day in South talking with Clark. And so I was introduced to you, but we didn't really talk at all. It was just like, oh, this is Jacob. Hi, Jacob. And I saw you on my floor more and more, and I was like, okay.
Yes.
And then we did D&D together, and that's where we started talking more. And now we're here.
How we met? I'm pretty sure I just saw you probably walking around in the hall, and we just started talking to each other. Honestly, I'm pretty sure you approached me first, and we just started having a conversation.
Yes, I was walking back from the bathroom, just on my phone, brainless, and walked into your room on accident, right next door.
How you and I met?
Yes.
In the bathroom, when the toilets were exploding. That's how I think you and I met.
I think I was going number 2 and I flushed it and it went back on me. And I was like, it's a bad day to take a shit.
Take a shit? That's what it was.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that's how we kind of met. And then probably just from the lounge, relaxing.
Jacob, I'll be honest with you. You're always around. You always be very outgoing and talk to people. So I'd say you being outgoing and talking to me and always making an effort to ask me how I was doing and sitting with me at South, because I knew those two before I met you and they knew you. So it's all about networking, you know. I met you and it was a great time.
I see. That's very flattering to hear, Matt. Thank you.
No, no problem.
No, I don't.
I was sitting in the lounge and you came in with your guitar and you're like, hey man, you mind if I play in here? And I'm like, I don't care, yeah, sure. And then I got more comfortable around you and then we just started talking.
Was Clark also in there?
Clark was not there. I think I was in there writing in my journal.
How we met?
How you and me met.
How we met?
Yeah.
Not specifically. I bet we just bumped into each other in the halls and we had a conversation.
I think we met through Jake.
Oh, probably. That's how I met all my friends.
How me and you met?
How we met, yeah.
I love the way we met, by the way.
Me too.
I think it was a COD night, playing Call of Duty with Darian. Shirt off.
I remember that.
Walk out shirtless. I hear some noise going on outside. I walk out. Yo, what going on? Jacob walks out. Why? Hello there. Like, hello there. Jacob walks to me with the NPC type. I start to talk to him in the NPC type. Walked into the laundry room, shirtless, I remember. You were getting your clothes out, I'm pretty sure. And, you know, we walked up with the NPC type. We talked for probably like a nice, I think 20, 30 minutes, I think it was. We talked for a minute. Okay, we were finished talking to NPC type. Boom, walk away. We mind our own business after that. Then the second interaction, I think it was like, this is when like I actually met Jacob. This is the real Jacob here. The Jacob that isn't the NPC type, but actually the real Jacob. I see him in here, I think studying or doing something. I walk in here, shirtless as always. Last year's shirtless mall was definitely the mall everybody loved. Well, I wouldn't say loved, but definitely will live in everyone's hearts. We start talking about some real deep stuff, you know, talking about our studies and like our majors and everything going on in life. I've always came to him about all my relationship problems. He would talk to me about his relationship problems. We would both go back and forth. And we would always, you know, listen with an open mind about everything. And always, you know, not be biased about it, but always tell the truth to each other because we care about each other. Jacob, wonderful man, wonderful friend, wonderful, like a brother to me. I love Jacob very much. Not in a gay way, not in a sexual way, in a brother type way. Him and Clark, my favorites, very much. Always will remember them as Bonner Hall Hall of Famers.
I love you too.
I think we met. Well, I remember I was trying to introduce myself to everybody, you know, the first couple weeks of school, you know, really trying to start that rapport like I was talking about earlier. And I think how we really started to get to know each other though is when you knocked at my door and you started, you know, talking to me about all the stuff that was going on last semester. And then I think ever since then you've kind of just gotten more comfortable coming and talking to me about stuff, and you know, which I appreciate. Obviously, it's that's also another reason why I do the job.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I think the first time we really talked was about Johnston.
I think so. Yeah, I think the first time we really talked about was because my girlfriend is a CTM major and also had the same professor. So I think, you know, I think that's kind of was a jumping off point for us when we started talking, and then eventually you came to me for your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what made you want to be a CA?
What made me want to be a CA is I like helping people, and it was a good stepping stone for that. Like, I got nominated by my CA last year in Dietrich, and you know, he was a pretty cool dude. So I was like, oh, thank you for nominating me. So I heavily considered, and then I applied, and I went through the whole interview process and everything. And I just, at first when I got Bonner, I'm like, oh, it's Bonner, why would I want to be here? But I think this entire year has turned out to be like one of the best staffs we have on campus, one of the best buildings we have on campus, you know, just because I think we got a really good group of people here, a good group of residents, like I said, good staff that really makes or breaks a building. and you know, that's kind of why I continued to be a CA and I never really quit. Like I wouldn't quit either way, but I just strongly have I like leadership roles, I'd say. So, you know, that's just one of the many reasons why I became a CA.
What are some challenges that come with being a CA?
There's a lot of challenges. Definitely there's a lot of challenges when you are a CA. I'd say one of the biggest ones is trying to get your residents to not like you, but you're trying to get your residents
Respect
to
you, maybe.
Yeah, I guess a good way to put it. It's a challenge is to get your residents to respect your authority and to get them to kind of do what you need them to do. Like I'm not. Whenever I try to get them to do things, it's not for me. It's because I have to for my job, you know. And I feel like I try to make that pretty clear to everybody.
You want to talk about the board, the bulletin board?
Yeah, well, that's a great talking point. The bulletin board that I made for the last programming period of the fall of the 2024-2025 school year, you know, I made an interactive board because I figured it's the last one, might as well do something fun for all you guys. You know, I know everybody's putting out a lot of hard work, and you know, I feel like I made a pretty good rapport with all of you guys, so I thought I could, like, you know, kind of have that level of trust with everybody to be mature enough to handle the board. But it turns out it was kind of wrong. You know, I don't think everybody's immature, but I just think, you know, somebody went and vandalized my bulletin board and wrote all over it. So I had to take everything down, and it kind of ruined it for everybody else that actually was taking it seriously. So, you know, it's not that I didn't expect that to happen, but it was definitely a possibility, and it happened, and I had to move on from that. You know, it's like, again, one of the challenges of being CA, you kind of have to be professional with what you do and how you talk to people. You know, can't really abuse your power and abuse your authority because people won't respect all the people who like to do that. So, yeah, real shame on my bulletin board.
What challenges have you faced working here?
I would say people's negative attitudes towards Bonner.
I haven't really faced much challenges, to be honest. It's pretty easy working the desk. All the staff are really welcoming and kind. The residents, pretty much the same. Only really trouble I've had is doing the mail, but now that I've worked here for like a couple months, it's no problem.
Specific people, a lot of drunk people, having to call head staff whenever someone comes in smelling like weed or can't walk straight, or as of recently, there's like just people who have not been quite all there. I don't know how to say that. I'm not gonna be like specific as names because like I don't want to be that person, but I don't know. It's been weird. It's been weird as of recently, but like the difficulties are students that come in drunk on weekends at 3 in the morning because it fucking sucks, and then I have to write them up. People who come in smelling like weed because then we have to tell the CA about that, and they're like, hey, you reek of this. Either get a shower or you're getting written off. Like, it's like that pretty much. And then specific people just being like dickheads.
Some of the residents, I'm not gonna name names, they can be a little challenging, you know, when it comes to following certain policy, and then when you tell them that they're getting a violation for not following the policy, they freak out, and you know, that's always a fun conversation to have.
Okay, how long have you worked in Bonner?
I've been, like as a staff member?
Yeah, as a DR.
As a DR, I've been working in Bonner. They hired me late October, and I started working about the first week in November or so. I think I had training like the day after the election. So yeah, it's been about 6 months now.
See, and you're liking it?
It's a job. It pays.
With pay, or the first semester I did a lot of volunteering stuff that most people who volunteered for when they work here would get paid for. So technically, like most of the events, if you're working here, you have a pretty decent chance that you'll get paid for what you put into that. Except for like Bear Fest, because that was like 5 days in a row of like 5 hours plus. That's 25 hours right there. They're not doing that, and I don't blame them because that's like a chunk of change coming out of their pockets for that, for all the people who work. technically I've been working the whole year with volunteering and stuff, but with pay I've been working for 1 semester, and it's fun. Not the DR part, but everything else is fun.
I've worked in Bonner for almost a year now.
I've been working in Bonner this whole semester actually. I've been interested in becoming a DR starting my first semester, and I finally worked up the courage to apply, and I've been a desk receptionist in Bonner ever since the second semester started, which would be spring 2025.
Why do you think Bonner gets such a bad reputation?
Nowadays it's better, but it's definitely because in the previous years, the staff were kind of causing problems. There was a lot of drug-related incidents from what I know. Unfortunately, a lot of rapes, a lot of just incidents involve the cops, a lot of bad stuff, but it's better now.
I think it did have a bad reputation before we got here, but I think it really depends on the CAs I'm seeing, because I feel like if you're not close, if the CAs aren't close or they hate each other or something like that, it just becomes like a bad rap for everyone. I feel like Bonner also, it's old. Like it's one of the worst buildings, honestly. I think it's a bad building, but it's the people that like kind of come together, how bad it is. I think that's why everyone here is like so, most of them are very nice, very like, yeah, like they're easy to talk to sometimes. So I think it just gets a bad rap because there was like actually bad stuff that's happened here before. But I think it just depends on the people, the CAs, and all that good stuff. I think that's why this year it wasn't as bad, but previous years, like I definitely understand why this has been a bad haul.
I think it gets a bad reputation because of all the rumors about it. And I feel that it's really not that bad, and people like to pretend that their lives are hard. So.
Do you want to talk about the rumors?
No.
No?
I cannot.
I mean, nobody's chosen to be here. And I think in the past, I've heard like they were usually like Bonner would always have the most incidents. But I mean, honestly, this semester has been pretty chill.
I think that there's a lot of things. I think the fact that it's the least renovated building, the fact that it looks like a prison, the fact that because a lot of the people that end up here didn't like file their stuff, it's more likely that they're people that just don't care about college at all. They just have a bad attitude about everything. I know Bonner Hall has a reputation for having the most sexual assault cases out of any of the dorms, which wasn't the case this year. This year it was like all Dixon. I think that's why Bonner Hall gets a bad rep. Just a lot of things.
Because the bathrooms are terrible. They always smell like poop and other bad smells. And the hallways also smell of burnt food, unsavory substances that I think people might be smoking. And there's a very foul stench.
It's pretty plain. It's pretty old. It doesn't really have it doesn't have air conditioning, and I'm honestly a fan of it. But it has the keys. Uses real key instead of the pin code. I think it makes me feel more secure. Any old lunatic can get the pin code. Any old lunatic can steal the key from downstairs too. Maybe a little harder, I would think.
Well, last year here we had I didn't work here last year. I lived in Lehigh. I worked in Lehigh with a wonderful boss that was very understanding and was willing to work with me. However, in Bonner last year, we got like 5 or 6 timely warning emails about sexual assault. So that can make the female and the girls that were going to live here this year feel a little bit off. The thing is, the building's basically practically falling apart if it wasn't for the beautiful Nancy that keeps the building clean and running smoothly. The thing is, the building was painted, the building was supposedly renovated, but all they didn't even sand, they just painted over the doors and the thing. The original color is the color on the doors that you see inside, the blue. They painted everything beige. They said that they renovated, but in reality, all they did was put in some half-assed kitchen and paint and some new furniture. That's all they did. They didn't modernize anything or anything else.
There's not even a microwave.
There's not even a microwave. Yes, you're correct. They didn't do shit. And they expect you to pay the same price as Lehigh or any other building, which I say is bullshit.
It's not renovated. There's no AC, and the ventilation sucks, so the 5th floor gets very, very hot. The bathrooms are always a mess, and they don't clean them very well. Like I mentioned earlier, the silverfish, I keep seeing them. I go in the bathrooms, and like once a week, I'll see one just crawling on the floors. People like to get poop stains on the toilets and pee on the lids. There's also like weird gnat infestations in the showers at times, which is also not cool. But again, we just kind of ball.
Cause last year it had the most rapes, and also apparently they were like pissing and shitting in the trash cans, and they also, someone like fully ripped the sink off last year, and I saw a picture of that from one of the CAs last year. This year has been such an upgrade compared to that. Like there's only been like shit all over the stalls like 2 times. And I don't know what happened there. A few missed vomits. No, it's been a lot better. But I just feel bad for Nancy.
Yeah, me too. I interviewed her actually.
That's nice.
She was actually very like happy about it. She was like, "This is like the best year it's been."
My name is Nancy Shook, and I am a custodian in Bonner Home.
So of course you don't live here.
Of course.
So the next question was going to be, what were your first thoughts upon seeing your room? But since you don't live here, what were your first thoughts seeing the rooms here?
Well, my very first day of employment, I honestly thought it was like a jail cell. Sorry. But yeah.
Why do you think Bonner gets such a bad reputation?
I think it's because it's one of the last dorms that didn't get renovations. When I started here 18 years ago, they all kind of look like this, but we're the last on the list.
If Bonner had a mascot, what would it be and why?
It's a tough one. I don't know. Can we come back to that?
Someone said you'd be it.
Me?
Because you're always taking care of everything.
Oh, well, that's very nice. That's very nice.
It would be me.
Be you?
It would be me.
The great Matt?
The great Matt would be me. You know why?
What was that?
Because I worked here 2 years. No. Scratch that answer. It wouldn't be me. It would be Nancy. It would be Nancy. It would be a picture of Nancy's face smoking a cigarette outside. Because if it wasn't for her, we'd all be fucked. They'd be shit on the floor, shit on the ceiling, and shit on the windows. She has it rough dealing with all this shit, you know? No one really, I feel that no one gives her the credit that she's due because she deals with this shit every day. And the thing is, she does the shit that we don't want to do. And you got to give her credit for doing it for I don't know how many years. I think she told me she was here like 10 years. And if I was her, I would go crazy in the first 2. So, you got to give the woman props because she's dealt with some bad groups of kids. Because I know specifically my sophomore year, the kids were terrible. They shit in the 4th floor lounge and put it underneath the heater. I'm making this shit up. You can't fire me now, Dad, if you see this.
If Bonner had a mascot, that's a good question.
Thank you.
I don't want to toot my own horn, but I feel like I'd be a good mascot.
You'd be the mascot?
I think I'd be a good mascot because I feel like out of everybody, all the other CAs, I feel like I talk to everybody the most. And I feel like I talk to all the residents the most. And I feel like I'm pretty well known within the hall. You can all disagree, but I feel like I'm, everyone has their opinions, but I feel like it's, at least generally, I'm pretty well known throughout the hall. And I made myself a pretty big presence here,
Mm-hmm.
So, and I take Bonner to my heart. I think it's one of my, best achievements is being a CA here. I'm very proud to be able to be here with it.
Well, I always thought that Kutztown should be the black bear because instead of the golden bear because there's black bears around, and golden bear just seems a little lame. I think, like black bears are a really cool animal, and I think it would be pretty cool. And maybe Boner Hall could get the black bear. That'd be pretty cool. I think.
A big meatball to represent the great cuisine that is cooked in the Bonner Hall kitchen.
Our theme is Western, so I'm gonna stick to it and I'm gonna say a cowboy.
Well, doesn't it change every
It does,
semester?
but I'm one of the people who decided the theme for this year.
I see.
So, I don't know. I think cowboys are fun. I think we have a really good time here in Bonner, and I don't know.
Hear me out. Dick and balls, but like hard as fuck. You can do that for a lot of halls. D trick, you could like twist a D. Lee high, you could put like Aaron, like Attack on Titan Levi, you know, like high as fuck. Dick Sin, yeah, there you go. But Bonner with the dick and balls, that's also, you know, a good one.
It'd be a prison warden because we live in a jail.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, obviously when it comes to mascots in Kutztown, I think of the bear. But since Bonner Hall, we kind of say like Bonner Hall best. Oh no, I'm thinking of animals that start with B, and I think a bear. Oh, that's already there. Maybe a polar bear because the Bonner Hall walls are white and look like a prison cell. So I think that kind of exemplifies Bonner Hall as well.
It would be. Well, it kind of does have a mascot, like Ruth Bonner, the chick out, you know, like the chick on the plaque.
But like, what, like in your opinion, like what would represent Bonner?
An old lady, her, old, yeah, a senior citizen, a senile senior citizen.
Nice alliteration.
Yeah.
What would it be? Bonner Barbarians? I don't know, some of us are pretty fucked up. Like, I genuinely, the Bonner Bimbos. I'm just trying to make something up that works.
Bonner had a mascot. Ooh, that's a good one. It's gotta be something just like totally random and disheveled, like some drunk version of Grimace, or you know, just like a total freakazoid, something like that.
It would be a mole rat.
Why's that?
Because it's not the prettiest of dorms, but it works. It's alive.
Probably a really dirty toilet. Toilet like with shit still in it.
And why's that?
Because you never, anytime you go to the bathroom, that'll be there.
Probably Matt, not just because I feel like Matt is a very good representation of Bonner Hall. He's like loud and smoking cigars and the fire alarm's always going off. I'm not saying it's because of that, but it's like a design correlation. But also because he's always sitting outside Bonner, you know? He's like a sign spinner outside. Like when Squidward had to dress up as the Krabby Patty.
Yeah.
That's Matt for like Bonner Hall.
Probably like a hippo. It doesn't look that cute, and it's a big building, and you're like, oh, this can't be that bad, and you go inside and you're like, well, this worse than I expected. But again, you just kind of live with it. You know, hippos are herbivores. It's like it's not gonna kill you.
Honestly, the first thing that's coming to mind, I don't remember his name, but it's a trash guy from
Oscar the Grouch.
Yeah, Oscar the Grouch. I feel like he's like a perfect mascot because like it's like, oh, he's like a trash can. He sucks. It's terrible. But honestly, I kind of relate to him sometimes because he's a grouch. It's like sometimes you can be a grouch whenever you wake up in like a bad room or something like that, or something that just is so hot. But like it's like Bonner, I guess it's known for being bad, but it's iconic. So Oscar the Grouch, trash can, it's iconic. And that's how I would say.
What personal experience have you had here that you'll never forget?
I think it's just kind of a lot, but I still remember one of my favorite moments was like it's just the wing. I remember it'd be like me, like Messiah, Luke, Hudson, and Milton. Like last semester, we would just hang out in the hallway, and we were loud. Like we were really loud, but our CA didn't really do much. So we kind of had free realm after, and it wouldn't be like, oh, we're doing this from like 6 to 8 people. We would be like 10 to 3 in the morning. We'd be talking in front of our dorms in the hallway. I think one of my favorite moments was it was we were just messing around. We were just doing stupid stuff. And I think one of the memorable moments was Messiah's like, let me dry scoop like protein powder. And so I remember he took like a whole thing. He's like, I'm gonna do it. And they were like, no, no. And so he cut it to half. And then he took it. It's like, he's got it. And he spat everywhere. And then he's like, Luke, let me use your trash can. He's like, you're not getting to my fucking room. And so Luke tried blocking him off, but then he tripped over his leg and fell. And then Messiah's like, let me get it. And like Luke is like trying to like kick Messiah out. And then I remember he just ran to my room, spit it into like the trash can. That was all good. That was like one of the more memorable nights. It was just really hallway adventures, I would say. That's like a whole. That's I'll remember.
It being hot as shit. No AC.
I mean, made some good amount of friends down here.
Knowing a lot of people. Like I know most of the people, most of the DRs. The first group of friends that were from here.
Beating Luke Williams in chess behind the desk.
Oh my God, where do I start? I mean, there's like dozens. I mean, even just 2 days ago, I had to do the ice bucket challenge out in the courtyard. I had what was probably 10 gallons of water dumped on me. I mean, everything from last September when everyone was playing pool to this semester where you've got people like hiding shit up in the rafters above the lights. Like, I mean, there's just so much random shit and things I don't want to say on camera that have happened in the last year here that you won't forget.
Because I didn't really like interact with a ton of people, or at least like as much as like other people on the floor. So a lot of the things that I feel like I'm gonna remember about living in Bonner is just stuff that I was doing in my own time, like making the Mario Kart game or like working on my comic and such. But I guess just like generally, I don't think I'll ever forget the general like atmosphere. Like I don't know if it's the same in every hall, but I feel like at least first semester when like you're walking around the halls and you randomly bump into somebody, I feel like everybody in Bonner is just a little bit mad at everybody. There's just that like sense of like aggression in the air at all times. At least for like the first semester, it felt like. I don't know if that's just me though. I made a Mario Kart game because I always thought that it could be cool, but I don't think Nintendo's ever really gonna do it, at least in the way that like I'm envisioning. So around like October, I started working on making a Mario Kart game that had like, it was like 100, I should know this, it was like 140 something cards, wasn't it, in total?
Yes.
Like you build a deck out of 20. I started working on that in October and I finished it around December. It was a really, really big project of mine, and Jacob helped me out with a lot of play testing, stuff like that. Some other people did, like my roommate did. My family did whenever I was home, like my brother and my dad helped me with play testing. I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud of it. And I think it's something that I'll always think back on whenever I think of like my first year of college. Because not only do I associate with college, but I also heavily associate it with like certain music. Like it was such, it ate up so much of my free time that like now whenever I listen back to music I would listen to at the time, I think like, oh, this is like the Mario Kart game song. I feel like it's such a big part of like this like whole school year, even though it was only really like 2 months, but I'm personally very proud of it as a project.
And your comic.
Oh yeah, my comic. I have a web comic called King Punch. It's about a boxing tournament. I started it in high school, and I've just been working on it here and there. And I've shared it with a few people here, and everyone's been very supportive of it. It's just a little project I like working on.
I've made some very good friends while working here in Bonner. We got really lucky with our staff here. I think we all get along very well. We're all very kind to each other, and we like to talk and hang out. There are always a lot of us chatting behind the desk. So I think just my overall experience here has really been just getting to know like a lot of different people and like forming connections with people that maybe, you know, I didn't think I'd ever form a connection with. It's really like opened my eyes more to getting to know different kinds of people. I think that's like my overall best experience with Bonner.
Wow, it's a tough one. None that come to mind.
Personal experience I've had here I'll never forget. tough one, dude. That is a tough one. Oh, when Matt burped in my face and I threw up. That's.
Did you actually throw up?
No, I didn't actually. I'm just fucking with Matt. I would say basically hanging out with you guys, going to my econ class, and that's about it.
You can talk right now.
What about me falling off the skateboard, man?
I didn't remember. It didn't come to mind.
That didn't come to mind?
It didn't come to mind.
Wouldn't that be?
That would be like
that
your
would be your
personal
memory.
experience. Yeah, that's big. That's
Yeah.
bigger in your mind, I would think.
I'd say one of my best experiences here was meeting the Martin Vandergrift and Jake Thomas, because for my past 3 years here, I've had shitty experiences with people. They're all fucking terrible. This is what happens when you have a 99% acceptance rate cuts down. You accept some weird people. I mean, come on. How many starving artists and goddamn liberal arts majors do we need?
What's a good school for that, though?
Bruh, tell me
You're literally in a movie.
what 50 kids are gonna do with an anthropology degree or some sociology degree. Do these kids not realize that majority of the degrees that they're getting will not have a positive payoff years down the line?
Okay, I'm gonna cut you short because I know this is gonna go on for like 20 minutes.
A personal experience I'll never forget with Bonner Hall. When I first met my roommate, he seemed really cool. He seemed like, somebody that I could talk to and be cool with. And then, the year went on.
Wow. I don't know what I can say on the video. Probably just hook it up.
Personal experience, I think all the growth from over this entire year of, the staff members, me getting to get closer with people on staff, getting to get closer to people, my residents. I'd say my best personal experience is, like I said, getting to know everybody and just kind of becoming a face in the hall for everybody to recognize and feel like they can go to or whoever. I think that's my best personal experience is just, getting to be a CA here and getting to do all the things that I did over this past year, and how it spanned out. I'm very, very glad with how the entire year spanned out.
The bathrooms. Definitely the bathrooms. Just constantly going in there and there's just pee on the lids. I remember last semester there was someone who vomited all over one of the toilets and it wasn't clean for like a week and a half.
We all thought it was poo.
It was not poo.
It was not poo.
It was very obviously not poo.
The exploding toilets. Because I'm pretty sure I went to the bathroom right before that. It blew up. And then I went to wash my hands. The water didn't come out. And then you went in. And then you came out. It blew up. And you're like, not today. So honestly because that was pretty fucking funny. Every water on every floor was messed up. It was just air coming out. Even the showers. Like the showers ended up spewing out like black liquid after for a little bit.
I've had a lot of unique experiences since coming to Kutztown that I did not have in high school. The most notable one is probably I was actually walking Main Street alone, and I saw somebody it was like I think it was an alley or something. It was just this girl running after a guy. There was just this guy running away from a girl. I don't know what she was screaming. She was screaming something in Spanish, I think, and just chasing this guy. I think she was chasing him anyway. That's probably the most bizarre thing I've had happen here, to be honest.
If you could change one thing about Bonner, what would it be and why?
Oof. I'd probably make it so that maybe repaint the walls so they aren't just plain white. Maybe make it a little more friendly. Maybe try to spread the word that Bonner Hall isn't the worst hall anymore. Make it so that people actually want to come here.
I'd put AC in the building, ASAP.
Yeah, I think it needs AC.
Air conditioning.
Air conditioning I think is the biggest one because this building is hot as hell even now. Even back in March when it was still pretty cold outside, it was boiling in here and it's only going to get worse.
Maybe have it more updated. It's one of the oldest buildings. Doesn't have the love that other buildings have.
You're the first person to not say AC.
The easiest answer is AC in all of the rooms.
Right.
It gets really hot here, especially because training happens over the summer before everybody moves in for school, so it's even hotter than it normally is. The sun's like blaring, you're going outside and like 90-degree weather, because there was also like a heat wave while we were here. And then you get back to your dorm room and it's not any cooler than it is outside.
I would add some damn AC, I can tell you that. I would add some damn AC in the Bonner Hall. Because over near the summertime, you know how that Bonner Hall heat get. It'd be hot. And that's why I was shirtless most of the time. But besides that, I would definitely add maybe some bigger rooms. Have the option of having a solo. Because there's a lot of empty rooms in here. Not being used at all. But we can't get a solo room? Kind of crazy of me. Because I'm pretty sure everybody who has a good roommate, they probably love their roommate and all that. But everybody knows a solo is always going to be better than having a roommate. That's just how it is. That's just how it is.
I would change the fact that housing hires who they think as an ally to be as a employee. But the thing is, they need to hire competent people that aren't going to lie to the kids about what college is and how it's going to be. Because I see a lot of kids are pushed through college, and when they get out, they're absolutely screwed for the real world because they were never actually prepared for anything. People in higher education don't value the aspect of hard work, and a lot of people see that taking the easy way out is the easier thing to do, but in reality, it's not. Unfortunately, the amount of people that are here may not necessarily need to be here. It's just that you guys are pushing everyone through a pipeline and expecting the same result, but when you put too many people through the pipeline, things get fucked up.
I know they're doing it next year. They're switching it to half and half. It's both guys and girls on each floor, but I think they should have done that this year because, I love all of you guys, but
it can be too much sometimes.
It is a little much being on an all guys floor because I feel like it's kind of me and the other CA, Greg, my co-CA. I feel like it's a little much for us to handle like all of you guys just by ourselves. We're still in our respective wings, but handling an entire floor, guys, I feel like, on the fourth floor, the mixed floor, I think things flow pretty easily because you have that separation between the guys and the girls, which, the girls are also there to kind of keep the guys in check. It's not just me.
Well, air conditioning for one. It's very hot in here. Yeah, a little update. The bathrooms definitely,
Air conditioning, that's like what everybody says, but they say it for a reason. Because it gets really, really hot in Bonner because there's there's no air conditioning, but there also isn't very good ventilation. It's like an igloo. It just traps heat in here, especially on the 5th floor, it feels like. And then aside from that, I guess the bathrooms aren't great, which I know they aren't great in every building. There isn't much you can do about that, but I feel like it has to be especially bad in Bonner. But that's about it because genuinely, I feel like if Bonner had its little quirks worked out, I feel like it would be the best place to live because it's right next to South. People act like Bonner makes walking to classes super duper far when not really. I'm going to Rothermel next year, which is right at the top of the little hill that all the residence halls are at. That's really only going to save me 4 minutes, maybe. It doesn't take that long. So I think Bonner, location wise, is kind of perfect.
The reputation. That or how old it is. The reputation mostly because there are good years, there are still bad years, but the good years kind of counteract that and make it feel like Schuylkill is actually the worst one. They've been having a lot of problems recently. They had to clean out 3 shit logs in the middle of the hallway in the past week. It was burning down yesterday. So there's been a lot of problems as of recent for them. I feel like they need to redo it because this building literally is known for looking like a prison. and kind of like being like one too. Like it's kind of like a prison cell that you're in. It's just cement walls and a door and a window.
I would change the decor. It's very outdated. I would change certain staff members. I would change what's on the bulletin boards. It could be very dull and lackluster.
One thing, okay, it would be no more stupid desk. Get rid of the desk. That's it. Matt says, Because why do we need to scan? We already have a scan in the door. We already have to scan in to get inside the door. You know. That's my resume. Leave it up. It's very impressive, by the way. You have to scan in at the door. Why do you have to talk to a jerk that's gonna, bother you? I don't want to say hi to you, Noah. I don't want to say hi to you, Amy, or whatever the fuck your name is. Fuck you.
I feel like just having... I can't tell if it's just because we're in cinder block walls, but just adding fans or something like that. More than these jet things. Because, I mean, it's hot up here. The 5th floor just is hot and smells like piss. This floor, from time to time, it smells bad. And it just doesn't... I feel like it's not anything... It's cinder block walls. It contains heat. And it's not... I think the only thing I would change is just, like, add some more fans. Because even, like, I know there's some, like, elementary schools in my hometown that they don't have air conditioning, but they have a lot of fans and air conditioners. Like, I don't know, it's like, but the voltage, I don't understand that. So I think I would just add a couple more fans into the hall. That's it.
I would change the fact that there's no bathroom sinks, counters, because it's just like the sinks. Having different sinks would be nice.
The entire building, it's just a little outdated. It needs completely redone. Demolish it, rebuild it. So, similar to like how Johnson Hall can't be used because it's the wrong building in this modern age and needs to be remade.
What change did you welcome coming into college?
I would say like the buffet style dining was a very welcome change. I very much enjoyed that, and the constant access to resources like the rec center or any of the other buildings, the library is very good. I will say I did get kind of fed up though with the buffet style dining, because after a while you realize it's all just the same food. I kind of need like new food.
The change of, mommy's not here to do your laundry anymore. You gotta do your own laundry. You gotta fold it. You gotta put in the detergent. And, it's a big process, It's not something to take too lightly.
What change did I welcome? The dining hall. I welcome that because, a lot more food to eat.
It's not the best food, but
It was a lot more of it though. I always had a full tummy while at Cookstown, which is good.
I welcomed the general freedom of things. I really enjoyed being able to just kind of do whatever I want and go wherever I want. Because back home I kind of live out like the middle of nowhere. Like I live next to a farm and like there's literally nothing within walking distance. So it was really nice coming here where it's like I can walk anywhere.
now you're in the middle of nowhere with a school because there's nothing to do in Kutztown.
Oh. No, I mean like back home, like it's not that like I live out in the middle of nowhere and that there's like nothing to do. I mean like my house is like I don't live in like a neighborhood or like in a town really. Like I live in Carlisle, but like it's not like around where I live there's not sidewalks. I'm just surrounded by farm fields. So like I literally can't walk to anywhere. Like I live outside of town. I should have just said that. I don't know why I didn't say it. I just live outside of town. And yeah, and it was very nice coming here where I am in town.
Doing things on my own. When I first got here, would go off on my own a lot, and just kind of like walk around campus, attend events by myself, and do a lot of things on my own. Before coming to school, I was somebody who wanted to go to things like with another person, and I wouldn't really adventure out on my own. And I think I kind of changed that immediately when I got here because I felt like I needed to just like go out and figure it all out on my own.
I'm more free to do what I want.
Yeah, I got a lot of freedom to do whatever I want to.
Well, the independence from home was a good thing, but in reality, the independence is good, but I would say people just take advantage of it way too much and get up to fucking nonsense and cause way too many problems than what it's worth. Working in Bonner, I've had fucking people be causing all crazy bullshit. Running around thinking they own the place, altercations. They don't tell you this, but a lot of freshmen that first come in, and especially the fall semester, are absolutely terrible. They're the worst of the worst human beings. They have no maturity at all. They're fucking terrible. If you're a mature college student coming into college, I would greatly weigh your options for school very greatly. Because if you come to Kutztown expecting a quality education, you will be surely mistaken and left out to dry when you graduate. I strongly recommend, if you have an option to go to a better school, I would take it 100%. If you have the opportunity to go to trade school and are interested in that, I would take that opportunity and run, because I guarantee you, you'd be making more money than the majority of the college graduates that come out of Kutztown.
Honestly, just doing a lot more, or just trying to stay out of my dorm, because I remember in high school I did a lot of stuff, but like when if the opportunity arose where I was like I can go home and relax, I would take it. But now I'm like, I can, like I'm trying out for more clubs. I'm gonna go into a job interview in a little bit. I want to do more stuff because I feel like just sitting in my dorm, like I'm kind of missing the time here. Like yeah, I you got 3-4 years, but I still want to at least use it, because I feel like after it's like, what is there to do after? It's like there's gonna be no radio club, there's gonna be no sports games to go to, stuff like that. So I'm just trying to, like, I think the one thing I adapted to well was just really signing up for things and kind of doing well in school, and then also trying to do more stuff in clubs and that good stuff.
I think definitely having to like coexist with a roommate, and also just like making new friends in general, because in high school I was pretty isolated. I didn't really make a lot of friends. I was definitely more socially awkward than I am now. I think college has definitely helped me like branch out, make new friends, become more social, that kind of thing.
A big change for me was I wasn't known for being an outgoing person. I never really did extracurriculars like what I'm doing for next year. I have like 3 days where I'm gonna be jam-packed, no matter what, every week, possibly 4, depending on what happens with NRHH, which is the people who pretty much make the main events on campus, or they're normally at them helping. NRHH is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to run for a spot on there. I'm trying to run for 2 spots actually, and if I get 1 spot, then I'll have 4 days a week where I'm busy, which is really gonna fucking suck. But it's what I wanted to do. And honestly, that's the biggest change that I can think of. Because high school never did like student council or whatever it's called. Never did, we had Link Crew, which was like virtually what, I don't even know how to describe Link Crew. That would be a Justin question because he was in it. But it was pretty much just like people would gather around, help do stuff with the school. And I never was like, nah, that's not for me, that's stupid. And then I like joined it here and I'm like, yeah, that's actually pretty cool.
I liked making my own decisions and like having the place as clean as I wanted to be, and having the choice to pretty much do not whatever I wanted, but like whatever I felt like for the day.
The freedom, I think. You know, I mean, in high school, you have to ask to go to the friggin' bathroom. I mean, the biggest thing here was just, you can do whatever you want. You don't even have to go to class if you don't want to. So that was nice.
Just the freedom. Got a lot more free will. Do what you want.
I guess the freedom, definitely the freedom, and kind of a more of being of a responsible, you know, human being, I guess. I call my mom and dad probably once or twice a week. It's been hard, can't call them every single day because we're busy with college, having to do all this, having to do all that. Starting to actually feel the stress of finals now. This week definitely killed me. It's not even finals week yet. These assignments that are ending off the year is kind of crazy. Geez, they're a lot. It's a lot. Taking a break this week would definitely be what I need. That what probably a lot of people need before finals week. And then once finals is officially done, we'll all be happy.
Being on my own, granted, it's not too much because I'd just be in my room at my house anyways. And I've like house sat by myself, so
I think it was a big adjustment for me, like friendship wise, maybe not friendship wise, socially, let's say socially, because I had a lot of friends in high school. I still do. I still talk to all of them. I had like a really big friend group in high school, and we all hung out all the time and stuff like that. So coming to college, especially last year when I didn't have a roommate, my girlfriend still lived in the same building as me, but obviously she had her own friends that she made and stuff like that. So I think one of the biggest adjustments for me was to try to almost like get back out there and like try to meet new people and kind of reestablish what I had at home, which I think is significantly different here than what I have at home. Like, especially now, it's a completely different set of people, you know, different personalities, which is all good. You know, it's obviously I wouldn't be friends with them if I didn't like them. So I think it's one of the biggest changes.
What are your thoughts on CA Justin?
Justin's cool. He's very chill. I don't know, I didn't really talk to him that much. I found him really intimidating at first. I don't know, just because like he's a tall dude. I thought he was a senior at first. And like I was really intimidated coming to college anyway. But I don't know. I like Justin. He's chill.
He's chill. Sure. He's nice. Friendly face to say hi to. Saw him this morning when I went to the shower, brushing his teeth.
You brushed his teeth?
No, he brushed his teeth.
That makes more sense.
CA Justin and I have a very interesting relationship. A love-hate relationship. Sometimes I love Justin, sometimes I hate him. Sometimes he loves me, sometimes he hates me. But most of the time, we're very cordial and respectful to each other, and he's been a great CA.
He's a ball breaking jerk, and he's a weirdo. I don't like him.
CA Justin. Okay, I've ranked him. I've always ranked him. Hot take. Very, very hot take. I would put CA Justin at the top. Greg at second. I got Greg at my 2. Look, we all love Greg. Greg, wonderful CA. Justin, wonderful CA. Definitely a Hall of Fame CAs. But CA Justin, I feel like is more of an active CA, more of a, you know, kind of trying to get you out there CA. Kind of trying to get my job done. I don't give a fuck what you do. I want to get my job done before I get the fuck up out of here. He wants to get paid like a CA. And that is kind of the CA I want to be. A CA that cares about his residents, but also trying to get the fuck up out of here and get paid. That's Justin's best CA. Love Justin. Love Justin very much.
Honestly, definitely my favorite CA. I think he's definitely helped me feel welcomed at Bonner Hall. He's actually the president of my fraternity, so that's pretty nice. It gives me another opportunity to like just hang out with him, be around him more. And he's a great CA, and I probably wouldn't like Bonner Hall nearly as much as I do now if he wasn't my CA.
I don't talk to him that much, but when I do see him and talk to him, I think he's a nice guy.
I honestly, when I first saw Justin, he looked done with our shit. Like at first, because I remember Kyle asked like 2 or 3 questions that were just like out of the blue and dumb, and Justin's like, yeah, like he really was done with our shit. Now I remember I asked like some questions I was actually intrigued by, and he started to kind of connect more with that. I think he is a good CA. He just doesn't care, which is kind of good about being a CA. So like he can still do the dumb shit and not be like, you can't do that and whatever. But him being part of like the president of the service fraternity, man, he needs to like calm down. I'm saying that truthfully. Like he's like, I'm trying not to be a tyrant. It's like, yeah, just calm down. The only thing I'm doing is trying to just have a group of friends, do community service hours, and the title of the service fraternity. But other than that, aside from that, as a CI, I think he is really good. And he needs to keeps you in line when you need to, and then when it's like just dumb. Like I think we know him as like there's some dumb shit going on in this room, and he'll have a quick second and be like, should I stop him? Should I not? Nah, and then it walks away.
In high school, I didn't really talk to him that much. We saw each other and we would like say hi. We would have like basic conversation, but it was mostly because I was in a class with his girlfriend, and he would just have a free period, so he would come into that class and just relax. And this was like a jazz band, so we would be playing music. Sometimes he would join because he is a drummer. He knows how to play jazz. He knows how to play a lot of music. He's a really good drummer. He's also a guitarist now. He's really good with music. That's kind of it for high school. We didn't really do much in high school. We just kind of saw each other. I knew his sister a little bit more, but that's only because we were in the same grade and I went to middle school with her. But college, I'd say him and I have gotten a lot closer. We started talking a lot more. He and I were in the rebirth chapter for APO. I ended up dropping that for a few reasons, but next year I'm probably going to join again because he's asking me, and I'm honestly pretty much thinking about it, which is one of the reasons why my whole schedule is going to be so packed next year, because that's going to be like Thursday nights. But yeah, I'd say him and I have communicated a lot more than what we used to, become better friends, stuff like that. In all, I'd say he's a great person, can be a douche. That's just kind of him though.
You know, I thought he was pretty chill, but sometimes you'll be talking to him and he just doesn't talk for a while. And it gets a little scary.
He kind of has that 1,000-yard stare.
Yeah. He's chill though. Sometimes I'll just walk past him and I'm like, please don't start a conversation because I'm in a rush. And then he'll talk to me and it's like, shoot. And then I feel like I'm trapped in like a cutscene that I can't skip.
Justin is he's a great friend. He's a funny guy. He's very dedicated to his work. He cares about what he's doing as a CA, and he tries to get to know his own residents and get to know other people in the hall. And I think like overall he just is a good person who does his best.
My thoughts on CA Justin are, I hope he's not listening. I think he's very genuine. Is he gonna watch this or no? Because if he's gonna watch this, I can't say nice things. I hate him.
Well, I've asked everyone this question, so don't worry.
I think he's a babe. I think Justin.
He's a jerk off. He can't take a joke, and he's a jerk off. Plain and simple. He busts balls for no reason, and he thinks he's the shit.
So this question was going to be, what are your thoughts on CA Justin? But I'm going to give you a more tailor-made question for you. What are your thoughts on Matt?
I love Matt.
I love too.
I think he's like just really cool and easy to talk to. He was my CA 2 years ago, I think, on the 5th floor. Yeah, I enjoyed talking to him.
How'd you and Matt meet?
From him being a CA 2 years ago. And I remember his first day, I didn't meet him, but I had a whiteboard and he wrote on it, like, hello Nancy, like just very nice. So I went and introduced ourselves and we hit it off. Like he's easy to get along with.
Where are you living next year?
Bonner Hall, baby, 3rd floor CA. Not my first choice, but got the job.
I'm actually staying in Bonner. I'm one of the few who decided to stay here. And that's pretty much only because I'm becoming a cup coach next year, and that gives me access to my own room. And I figured Bonner Hall hasn't been so bad so far, so why the heck not?
Simple question, Bonner Hall, because I'm gonna be a CA here. If I had the choice, Dixon, because AC, who the fuck wouldn't want AC? Second choice, GB, because who wouldn't want AC? I'm a DR currently, and you kind of have to be on duty when you pick your hours. It's good, you pick your hours. But having to come in at a certain time every single time, it's kind of crazy. You're working that hour, it's not bad, I'm not gonna lie, it's not bad. But eventually it starts to come up to you like, okay, I'm doing a lot for just, that's Jason Miller. Another thing that kind of scares me about being a DR, packages. Doing packages, and I can't say too much on camera because it's yeah. You can get arrested, you can get in trouble for getting packages wrong. I've had it fucked up. Never had a problem yet. Staff discipline too. My first one actually wasn't bad, but yeah, got to me. But reason why I want to be a CA, you're constantly working pretty much. You have one day that you work, and you're pretty much off the rest of the week if you're not working for the weekends or whatever, depending on. I guess we will all pick for the weekends, but you're on. It's 15 hours a week. You get paid 15 hours a week. Add that all together, 30 hours a week. You're making probably a nice $300, probably more than that if you work a DR shift. Biggest factor of being a CA, that solo room. That solo room. Who doesn't love a solo room? That solo room is just amazing. And not having to worry about roommates, not having to worry about anybody coming in there to check on me. I love being by my alone, I guess, when it comes to my room.
I'm living here in Bonner because I got hired again for Bonner.
Dixon. I was gonna live off campus, but one of my friends, Kevin, you've met him. Yeah, him and I were gonna live off campus over on Walnut Street, and then that ended up falling through because he lives outside of the commute range. So to get an off-campus place when you're a sophomore, you have to get an exemption letter, and he couldn't get it. Like, so we already had the house set up and everything, and then that just like fell through like a week ago.
I am living in Golden Bear West Village.
And what made you pick that?
I do not have to deal with signing people in and swiping in.
Really?
Yes, it's just an apartment. You walk right into your suite.
GB, same place.
GB, Golden Bear Village.
I was gonna live in Dixon, but now I think I'm moving to Roth if I do get the Cup coach job, which I don't know. Dixon, it seemed good because it's a suite. It is a little bit more expensive. Also, be living with 3 guys I just never talked to. I think it was a little confusion because there was this one of my friends. He's in the floor below me, and he's like, "Hey, I got this really good I think you guys would be great friends and great roommates. So can you I'll connect you guys. You guys start talking and become roommates." And I was like, "All right, sure." However, he goes, "But he smokes a lot of weed," and I go, "Okay, I'm fine with weed, but when you say okay, whenever you says, oh yeah, that guy smokes weed." Okay, you think that much, but when you say, yeah, this guy smokes a lot of weed, that means he smokes a lot of fucking weed. When I heard that, I'm like, okay. And he's like, oh, those are a bunch of air fresheners. I'm like, I'm still gonna smell it. So I also get my room myself, so I don't have to deal with that. I am in another traditional hall, but honestly, from the stories I heard of my friend in University Place having their own bathrooms and stuff like that, I think I'm kind of glad it's communal. Although the communal bathroom can be really freaking messy, I'd rather have that than have to clean up someone else's stuff instead. Yeah.
I am living in Rothermel Hall next year, and it's a strategic location placement to get to classes easier.
Next year, I'm going to Rothermel. Me and Adam decided that it's like a tactical decision. Because even though I was just saying that it doesn't make that much of a difference, I mean, it is nice. It is nice. Living up at the top of the hill. Because low-key, being at the top of the hill would mean that I can walk to the art building in 5 minutes. And then I guess the trade-off is just that the dining hall and Dixon are farther away, but that's only a 4-minute walk just down to the bottom of the hill. So it shouldn't be bad. I think Rothermel is also supposed to be one of the nicer halls. Because we were originally going to try and go to the first floor just because that'd be really convenient, not having to take any elevators or stairs or anything. But whenever I went onto the website to register for that housing the morning it was open, there were literally no rooms on the first floor available. It was literally just the 3rd floor that we were able to get. And now apparently there's nobody living on the first floor next year. Because whenever Joey was talking, I was like, oh yeah, there's barely anybody on my side. I don't know what that's about. So I don't know what that's about, but maybe it's for the best that I didn't get the first floor.
I'm living in Rothermel Hall next year. because Clark Neely is in there. No, it's because I'm gonna be a CA there. A few buddies of mine will also be living in there, like Clark, Adam. Alex is gonna be in there now because he's a Cub coach.
Yeah.
He's gonna be in there. That's kind of where I got drafted into. Like as a CA, you have some preference of where you want to go, but it also just depends on, hey, this person saw and read your interview, they want you, and you get drafted before. So like I could have been drafted to Bonner, but Roth took me right before.
So, you're actually not going to be at Kutztown next year.
No,
So, what college are you going to next year and why?
I'm going to Montgomery County Community College, and I might transfer to Westchester for my remaining 2 years after that. But Kutztown is not my favorite school. I do not like this school. I had a terrible time at this school. Yeah, you gotta watch out for the fun police here, and you gotta just be prepared that you are living in the middle of nowhere. There's not much to do, and yeah.
Do you want to tell us why you're leaving Kutztown?
Because I don't. I feel as though I'm wasting my money. I'm wasting my time. I don't have a goal. I wanted a goal, and now I'm pursuing a goal. I'm gonna try to become a plumber. I'm going to tech school. This way I can focus on something, dude. Because I don't know. I'm not gonna be writing AI emails for the rest of my life, dude. I don't know how that's gonna go.
You're a senior, so the next question was going to be, where are you living next year? Instead, I'm going to ask, what are your plans for next year?
I'll take any goddamn job I can get because apparently half the employers in the state of New Jersey don't even know what the fuck Kutztown is.
What's something you're really going to miss about Bonner?
Once I'm out of here for 2 weeks, buddy, Jacob, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I'm gonna forget this building ever existed.
Not going to miss Marty, not going to miss Jake.
Oh, we'll be in touch, don't worry. We'll go fishing on the Schuylkill River soon enough.
The people. I'm gonna miss Jacob, Clark. I'm gonna miss Joey. I'm gonna miss Matt. I'm gonna miss all types of people that live here. Great, great people.
Jacob and Clark and Matt. That's what I will miss about Boner Hall. That's about it.
I'm going to miss you too, Marty.
Most of my friends are leaving to go to other places like Dixon, Roth, Lehigh, so I will miss everyone I've met and become friends with at Bonner, but I'll still be able to see them, so it ain't all that bad.
Just the memories.
Hooking up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss the loudness that it has.
Jason does scream a lot.
Yes, about his stupid game, but he still plays it.
I'm really gonna miss the people, not just the staff, but like also the residents. I think genuinely I've seen like a very good bond among the people who are living here, and there's like a community that really like I didn't have in my building when I was a freshman, and I genuinely very much will miss that.
I guess just the people, because like Joey's gonna be at Rothermel, but he's gonna be like on a different floor, like whatever. I mean, yeah, like just the people. I don't think I'm gonna miss anything else aside from like its placement of being right next to the dining hall.
Well, the next question was going to be, what's something you're really going to miss about Bonner? So instead of that, what's something that you really appreciate about Bonner?
I think how close it is to the parking lot, especially next year when we don't have to park halfway across campus. It's going to be nice just to have my car right back there. 2 seconds, you're in it, go wherever you want.
The bathrooms. I feel like it's an experience you get that you can only get in Bonner Hall. And I know the other bathrooms are bad, especially the traditional style halls, but it's like they're all modernized and the cleaning is better facilitated. This is the only time I'm gonna get this terrible bathroom experience. So I gotta enjoy it while I have it, I guess.
The community, because every other hall doesn't talk how Bonner has been talking this past year. Everyone else is apparently very quiet, doesn't really do much with each other. The 4th floor and the 5th floor guys have become a community. Some of the girls as well. Others are kind of bitchy. They'll still be that next year, I don't know. But no, honestly the community is gonna be the biggest part that's gonna be missed probably. because there was a lot. We even started D&D session. That got kind of paused. It's on hold. I don't know what's happening with that, but that would be fun to redo.
The stability of it. I'd say I'll really miss the stability of how things flow here and how people are like really respectful here, and you know, in a lot of other halls you don't get so lucky with a lot of residents. You don't get so lucky with some of the residents. Like sometimes you end up having more residents who seem to be like kind of disrespectful of like the staff in the building and stuff like that. But I feel like this year we got a really good group, and I'm gonna kind of miss that because I have no clue how next year is gonna be as an ARD.
Nothing.
I mean, probably the friends that are in different places.
Sarcastically, Matt smoking his cigars, because I feel like you're not in Bonner if you don't smell the cigar smoke. Also, you keep the mosquitoes away, which I can thank them for that. I think really just like the community, because I feel like I've talked to so many people here and got to know a lot of people here that it's going to be kind of sad seeing us go to, because there's only like, I think 3 people I know that are staying here, like Noah, Mo, and Luke. But yeah, I think it's just the community I'm going to miss the most, because like, yeah, it's been, Bonner's been shitty in the past couple of years, but I feel like the group that we had this year was so much better, and it made it a lot better, I feel like.
Do you plan on retiring from this place anytime soon?
2 years. I'm hoping.
Now, what's something you're gonna miss about Bonner in those 2 years?
I think the students. I mean, every year, like I always connect with a lot of them. So I look forward to every new year and the new students coming in, and I think that's what they keep me on. I need to say, this is probably my best year I have 5th and 4th floor I'm in charge of. My best year, like no messes, nobody's out of control in a long, long time. But I've had some years where every day I'd walk in, all the ceiling tiles would be busted out, like just stuff just thrown in the bathroom, stuff that I don't even want to say. But yeah, this year, I must admit, it's like my best year.
I see. Do you want to talk about your worst year?
Well, my worst year was probably that year. Every single ceiling tile on the 4th floor was broken. And then they replaced them and they broke them again. Yeah. Or they would, also, 4th floor was always the bad one. They took the full garbage can and just threw all the garbage in the bathroom, and I left it there. I said, I'm not cleaning that up. And then somebody finally cleaned it up. Yeah, just stuff like that, just.
So this is the last question I'm gonna ask. What's a question you want me to ask you?
Let's see. Why did I want to work here? Maybe?
Why do you want to work here?
Okay. Originally, it was for the free tuition for my kids. So I told myself after I got both my boys through college, I was going to leave. Well, they graduated in 2011 and 2015, and I'm still here because I enjoy it. I enjoy being around the students.
A question you want to ask me?
Yeah.
Favorite memory in college or something like that, I guess.
What's your favorite memory in college?
You know, meeting all my boys.
I guess I'll go with like favorite memories.
All right. What's your favorite memory in college?
Just people that I met along the way.
What color should you think the walls be painted?
What color do you think the wall should be painted?
Pink. Yes, but like a nice pale, like baby pink.
And why is that?
Because it's calming.
Who am I not gonna miss?
Who are you not gonna miss?
Yeah, I am not gonna miss there's 4 girls that, yeah, I miss them. The one I won't say their exact names, but yeah, I won't miss them. They just stir up drama and do stupid shit that I feel like is just bad overall. Like I've never seen them. It's just the 4 girls. I've never seen them like branch off to talk to literally anybody else other than the 4 of them. But Shannon's nice. Shannon's in my nature too. She's actually really nice.
I would like you to ask me about Bonner's like past perceptions and stigma and what I think it is now. So Bonner has had like a really bad rap in previous years. There have been like a lot of incessant things, and it's been kind of like it's been the bad hall and the trouble hall for a long time. And I think that there's like been a lot of stigma surrounding it. But what I've seen this year while working here and just seeing all of the residents, that we really have a great community, and we have really strived to improve and be better than years in past. And I think that there's been a major change in the way that Bonner is, and I really hope that people outside of Bonner will start to see that change.
I don't know. What's your favorite plant? It's probably gonna be a hydrangea.
And why is that?
Because my house has a lot of them, and I know how to take care of them, and they're very beautiful.
Oh God. That's a good one. I'm not one for questions. Just ask me about the NFL draft, how I'm feeling about that. That's ongoing right now.
Okay.
Very happy. I'm a New York Giants fan. We have had terrible, terrible seasons for the entirety of the 2020s so far, but this draft, Abdul Carter at 3, Jackson Dart at 25, Cam Scattaboo, Darius Alexander, Marcus Mbo. Great draft so far. I think the best we've had probably in years, making up for not getting Josh Allen, making up for losing Saquon Barkley. We have a dangerous defense and an improving O-line. Super Bowl contenders in a few years. It's going to happen.
Ask me how many car accidents I've been in this semester. 3.
3?
I've been in 3.
Which one was the worst?
None of them were bad, like, to the point where there was damage on my car that, like, stood out. The worst has definitely been, it was January, just snowed. I'm going to park my car over in B2 by the baseball fields. I got my friend Kevin's in the car, and I decided to be a little bit of an idiot and try and drift the corner. I was going like 10 miles an hour, and my car is rear-wheel drive, so they don't drift. So it just slid forward, went straight into a big-ass pile of ice, and it was just stuck. And we had to stand there and dig it out for like 3 hours.
Actually, I think one more question would be, why did you come to Kutztown in the first place? I wasn't really particular about what college I wanted to go to. I just wanted like a alright college that seemed welcoming, at least from what I've heard. And I wanted one with decent business programs, since that's what I wanted to go into ever since my senior year of high school, really. And it was close by, so I could still see my family a lot, and that's pretty much it.
How appropriate does it need to be? I want you to ask me, Adam, why do you keep choosing books that end up having smut in them? Because it keeps happening. Every book I pick up has smut in it.
Why do you keep picking books with smut in it?
I don't know, Jacob. It just keeps happening. I get books over the summer because I'm like, this is a fantasy book. This will be like nice. The plot seems interesting. I start reading and it's just smut. Like, no, but it tricks you because like the first half is all good story and then the second half is like solely smut.
Do you mind if I ask another question?
Backstab me. Yeah.
Why are you such a pervert?
I'm working on it. I can't control myself.
And I'll end with this.
Well, there's so more questions.
There's one more question. Go ahead, but ask me a question. Don't make you ask me a question.
Well, that was gonna be it.
Well, ask me a question. I know you have a question for me. Ask me 2, and take the best of the 2, or 3.
How's your experience been with the ladies here?
Well, I'll tell you a story. I take this girl out to the pub. We're both 21, right? Now, I mean, I'm a bit of an extremist here. Not in the political sense. In the consumption of beer, right? So, I take her out, I drink 5 Yinglings, and I finish her meal, because she said she couldn't finish it. I asked her if she wanted to take it home, she said no. So I eat her meal, and she said, you know what? I'm never going to talk to this dude again. I never heard from her. I walked her home and everything. It was very nice. Never heard from her again. I left the girl at Starbucks once because she pissed me off, said something stupid. Anything else?
Yeah, I have one more question.
Okay.
Do you have any green cigars that when you smoke them, you get all big and green and start like hitting stuff?
There's a rumor that I do, you know. They do make green cigars, actually, right?
Well,
I
yeah,
don't know
I've
if
seen you
knew.
smoke them.
They're green because of the chlorophyll in them. They're not green because they make me go turn into the Incredible Hulk, G. It's not how they work. I wish there was cigars that did that, but unfortunately there's not.
I don't know, dude. I feel like I'm an open book, dude.
Yeah.
I don't have much. I don't really have much. I can do a handstand for a minute. That's a fun fact.
Can we see that?
Which side of me do you want to see, front or back?
I want to see that back.
Okay. See if I can get it for a whole minute. That would be pretty impressive.
We'll time it. You're halfway there.
Halfway?
Halfway
Okay.
there.
Alright, it's feeling doable.
I'll tell you when you're done.
Hey.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You did it.
Do I want a Hanks? And I would say yes.
Do you want a
I
Hanks?
would love a Hanks.
Stay right there.
All right, sounds good. Dude.
I'm gonna let this this will be a fun little thing we can put in there.
All right.
Don't you move a muscle.
What's the verdict?
What's the verdict?
Nothing, man. Nothing.
What are you watching?
Nothing, man. Oh my
Here you
god,
go.
you're the greatest.
That's for you.
You're
Ice
the
cold.
Oh my god, it's ice cold.
Cold to the touch.
Dude.
I guess you could ask me, like, how involved I am on campus. I'm very involved. I'm the president of my fraternity, which is Alpha Phi Omega, National Service Fraternity. President of that. I'm a CA here, which takes up a lot of my time, you know, doing all my duties and being on duty and working here. Those two, like, I know it's only like two things, but it still like takes up the majority of my time, and it's very in-depth stuff. It's not like I'm like just a general member of like a whole bunch of different clubs. Like I'm like the main person who runs a lot of different things, or the main person who runs the fraternity, or at least overseeing the fraternity. I don't run it just by myself. And then here, you know, it's kind of the same thing, keeping you guys in check. You know, so it's just a lot of pressure and a lot of responsibility. You know, like I said, it's only two things, but it's still, you know, very big responsibility in those roles.
What's your sexuality? No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
I could ask you something that you want people to know about you that people don't usually ask.
Go for it.
What are you doing? What are you doing with guitars in the summer?
Oh, the side hustle? I'm pretty sure I have 4 orders already put in, and I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to finish them. But I'm build and make them, but I make them. I don't remember what I'm gonna do for the logo because I haven't made that yet. People probably won't like it either because I'm probably just gonna use my initials. No, I am gonna do a side hustle over the summer, which I did last year, but I didn't do too many. I could have done a lot more. I only did like 2, and I finished them in like a month, maybe, if that. This time I'm gonna be making more. I'm also be working full time for another job, but I'm gonna try and get all of them done, even if that's like I'm staying up till like 3 in the morning just working on them in the shop, which I'll do that. I don't really care. I got Red Bull. But that's gonna be a big helper with paying for college because those things I can sell for like triple of what I pay for them.
What college would I have gone to if it wasn't for Gutstown? I don't know.
Okay. So this is the last question I'm going to ask you, Clark.
Yes.
Let me stop. Okay. The college I would have went to. This is a new one. Albright. You already know why. Stop. Look, okay, I understand, guys. He has a new girlfriend. Yes, okay. I understand. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hey, put that away! Kutztown is a big school. It's a real big school. 11,000, 20,000 people at this school. Classes are filling up quick. Every single time. 80, 90% of the school has early registration. I couldn't even get a registration to computer applications. That school's very small. I'm not gonna say small, but like it's a small school. Having that college degree early will definitely help. Not for all, if it wasn't for Albright, then it would be Temple, because my friend goes there, and it's closer to home. Westchester, that's another school, D3, by the way, or D2, I don't know, one or the other. One big school that I wanted to go to, which I couldn't go to, was IUP. That is 5 hours away from where I live. 5-6 hours away from where I live. Definitely a school I wanted to go to because of culinary. Culinary arts was what I wanted to do for my major, but there's none here. So I stuck with sports management because that's another thing I want to do. Probably could have dual major at IUP. At my old high school, when I say the name, don't come at me for it. Mass Bomb. That was one. It was a school that was near K&N, Kensington and Ave. Zombieland. A lot of zombies out there. They actually almost seen somebody get ran over by a train there, but that's beside them. Mass Bomb had minors. Minors, like the, sorry. The minors, yes. You know, you could do culinary arts, computer science, car mechanic, like, you know, the mechanic and shit, but they had different minors that you can do over at a Mass Bomb. Very good school, shitty area, but definitely had a lot of opportunity for people. Me, that was leading me toward culinary arts, which I loved very much down in my heart, which I wanted to become a chef after that moment. Definitely wanted to become a chef. Seeing IUP was 5 hours away. My mom and dad didn't want me to go up there because, and I definitely see why, because if that was the case, that would have been really terrible. But, very good school. Just too far away, too far away.
What's a question you want me to ask you?
I don't want to ask something like stupid, like oh, what's your favorite type of pibble? Or something dumb.
I was gonna be like, do you need any help?
Well, yeah. I'll take the sponsored question.
Maybe there's like something like that you're passionate about that you want people to know about that not a lot of people ask about. Maybe about wrestling.
I could do a wrestling question. The question that I would like you to ask me is, who do I feel the most underrated WWE superstar is?
Who do you feel is the most underrated WWE superstar?
Well, for that, I have to say Ilya Dragunov. Because I think, in my opinion, Ilya Dragunov might be the best in-ring performer in the entire business right now. I feel like nobody sells moves like he does. Nobody comes to the ring with as much intensity as he does. I feel like he is just, like, he's like up there with the greats. And he's so early in his career. Like, I feel like he is, like, for sure going to end up as, like a Hall of Famer or something like that. Like, he's definitely, like, many future championship runs to come. It just sucks that he's been out with injury for, like, the past year because of a torn ACL. But he should be returning somewhat soon, probably, like, September or, like, October at the latest. But I need him back because I feel like to have such, like, so much time taken out of his career so early into it is just devastating. It's like I really want him to make a good recovery because I think he has the potential to be like one of the all-time greats of professional wrestling.
If you can use some exotic booze, there's a bar in far Bombay. Come on and fly with me. Let's fly away. Come fly.
Mark, since it's the last week, shall we not regale ourselves with stories of Bonner past?
Yes.
Okay. I will miss Matt. I'll miss Matt.
I will also miss him.
Matt, he gets so much shit. Like, they treat him like a baby. I love him so much. I also love fucking with him. I know you do too.
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Remember the time that, wait, how did the whole thing start? With like convincing him that he has a green cigar that he smokes and turns to gold.
So you just made that up one day. It was, we were in here talking. I don't even think that you were, you weren't talking to Matt. You were just in here. But I think I was telling Maul about the whole, like, thing about Matt grilling people up crazy style at South Dining Hall. And then you just randomly said, like, yeah, man. And also this one time, I saw that he had this green cigar that he smoked it and he turned into a giant monster and started crushing people's heads like grapes.
Oh wait, no, I remember how that happened. Me and my friend Tiernan went to the dining hall after class and we saw Matt there. He's like, come on, boy, show me. We started gaslighting him into thinking that he has this pack of cigars that when he smokes, he gets all big and green and starts crushing people. And like the thing about Matt is like, I love him to death, but he can't take it. He doesn't know when we're joking. So he's like, calm the fuck down. Someone heard that. What if someone heard that? What, they think it's true?
We're gonna think I turned into Maul. That guy gets a bad rap. I think he does just have a pack of green cigars and he's like trying to cover it up. That's why he was so defensive about it, because it's true.
And he let it slip that there are green cigars out there. And I'm like, I know, man, you have them. He's like, no, I don't, G.
Like, how would you know that? There was also that time when we were leaving the dining hall.
Yes.
And you were really making Matt really mad. We were leaving the dining hall day and we saw Matt. And you were over and you were really going a little far.
I was going a little far.
You called him a cunt. You bit much, but he got really mad. And he went like, he said, Matt's gonna kick your fucking ass.
And I was like, Matt, you just spoke in the third person. He's like, did I do that?
He's not beating the whole guy.
Rest in peace, Matt.
Not dead.
Said the bomber. I mean, even.
I guess, but like he's going on to do great things.
Yeah, like fight abomination.
Yeah, you're gonna tune into the news and it's gonna
He's like climbing a skyscraper.
Yeah, he's gonna climb a skyscraper.
You weren't there for when Milton started dancing.
I was not, dude. Like your first is like
No, okay.
Oh no,
that was on two separate occasions.
When he was in the lobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did miss that, thankfully.
Like I just come into Bonner one day and Wall and Riley are just like sitting in this like in the one like cup chair in the lobby and they're like laughing and I'm like, what's so funny, guys? Shows me this video of Milton dancing and they're like, bro, he just put his phone down, started blasting music and just started dancing. And I thought it was really funny because there were two videos of it and one of them is a different music video, so it looks like it's his second like phase in a boss fight. And it's really funny because like in the video, you can see people like walking by Bonner about to come in, they see Milton and they just walk their way. I felt really bad because Jackie was like, are you guys making fun of Milton? What are you doing? We're not doing anything. Like, if you have a video of it, they're tweeted. And they're like, we don't have a video of it. And then Wall like leans over to me, he's like, yeah, I'm seeing that shit. Like a couple minutes. But I like, why did he dance up here? Joey said that he like walked by here and saw him like at 10 a.m. dancing in a maid outfit alone in here. That doesn't make sense because he has a solo.
Yeah, there's a single room.
What's his end game?
I guess the lighting's better in here.
You filming TikTok? What's with the maid outfit? He wears that a lot.
Cause I know, that's what he dressed up as for Halloween when he also had like the Fortnite drift mask. And like, I assumed that was just like oh, he's like being ironic. Like, you know what I mean?
But he just keeps bringing it out.
I don't think he was being ironic, bro. I think he was just doing that.
If you like the cross dress, I'm not gonna judge. I personally don't do that. We don't do that. But like, I don't know what my point is. The point is, I'm not judging Milton if that's what he wants to do.
Just don't do it in the lounge, bro.
It's a little strange.
I play Pokemon in here, bro. I like that good shit.
Hi, Joey. We're talking about. You want to come in for a second? Yeah.
We're gonna cover the whole.
So, Joey, you walked by here a couple days ago. You saw Milton dancing in
Yes. I'll never forget it.
here? I don't know.
I was walking by, leaving my door to go to the trash can, and I saw pure horror. I look in, see a tripod set up like this, going like getting jiggy with it, and I was like, and I ran the other way.
You ran?
In fear. No, that was actually so genuinely strange. I kind of just walked by and he was in here dancing.
We were just like saying, like he is a solo. Why is he doing it?
I don't know. He's got his own dorm. Not anymore. He's dead.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Milton.
Both of them.
Oh, you said he had a tripod?
He had like a setup going. Yeah. Also, I'm trying to go to bed. I have a 2 a.m.
No, it's
shift.
okay. It's okay. But say bye to the camera.
Goodbye, camera. You don't get to see my crouch.
Thanks for joining, Joey.
Yes, thank you for joining.
Of course.
We love you.
Well, that is all I can say from what I remember because it was a really quick glimpse.
Let's see.
Have a good night, guys.
Good night, bro.
All right, here's a fun one.
Yeah.
Remember when we watched the official, never before seen cut of the Minecraft movie?
I felt like I was having a nightmare because I remember we were going down to the lounge, right? We were already starting late.
Yeah, because we were waiting for Joey.
We were waiting for Joey.
This was right after the Minecraft movie came out, and I wanted to see it as soon as possible, but I don't have a car, and most of my friends don't have cars. I went on a pirating site, and I saw the Minecraft movie, and it said HD, and I was like, wow, really? So I was like, Clark, you, me, and Joey, we gotta have a movie night. I wanted Maul to come, but he was at Albright, so. What did you say about it? You were like really suspicious about it.
It's because we were on our way down to watch it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, Jacob, what quality is this gonna be in? Like, is this just gonna be like in the corner of a theater filming this? And you go, no, man, it's HD. It's gonna be like
you're really there.
Yeah, it's like you're actually in the theater, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, Jacob, I do not believe you. I think it is just gonna be filmed in the corner of the movie theater. I think the website is lying to you, and I think that you were buying it, you're eating it up.
And I was like, hey, I'll show you, man. I'll show you. So also, Joey.
Oh yeah, he was helping out his friend.
Yeah, for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
So
what time did we start? It was at like.
We started at like 11:30.
Yeah, 11:30.
We go down to the first floor lounge and we look it up to the TV, and it starts, and we're like, huh, this looks a little like weird. Like what? Why is it in a weird quality?
At the very beginning, the effects were just the tiniest bit off, right? Like if nothing else was later in the movie, it was just the tiniest bit off, and I was like, this just doesn't look good. Like it was enough that I was like, I could see them officially releasing it, and then like I'm like, oh, this is people are gonna talk about this. They're gonna talk about how bad the effects are. It like got to the part where
the dog,
Steve's wolf was like running, but its fur was lost. It was just a pink squares running. It looked like it was skinned, dude.
Yeah.
It was horrifying. And I was like, Jacob, this is not movie theater quality.
I mean, yeah, except that at that point, I was also suspicious at the beginning when the credits were coming on, because it said like written by TBD, to be decided.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, did you guys see that? Joey was just out of it.
Joey was paying attention. He was on his phone. I was dealing with
your cousin.
Yeah, I was dealing with my cousin.
It was like
I felt like I was in a nightmare. There was something wrong, but I just couldn't place it. It was like one of those stupid like TikToks where it's like places you've seen in your dreams before, and then it's just like liminal spaces. Except it's like things you've seen in your nightmares before.
And it's like the villager with like the human head.
Yeah, it's just us in the lounge being like, Jacob, I don't think this movie's right. Like, nah, it's HD. It's fine. And like the clock is like it's right above him.
I don't think I've ever laughed harder than I have at the scene of them flying through the mountain. Making the Mario Kart game.
I do remember that. The Mario Kart game, like, this may sound like an exaggeration. I do believe that it's one of my crowning achievements, kind of. Because I've always really wanted to make a card game that you could build a deck in. You know what I mean? And like, there's a lot of problems with that, you know?
Yes.
Because I just have to make a ton of cards, and I would make card games like that whenever I was like a bit younger, because it was like making card games. And usually what it would be is that you would lay out all of the cards on the table, and then whoever you're playing with, you would take turns picking cards until you both have a full deck or whatever. But obviously, that's super lame. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to play a game that takes 20 minutes to
set up.
Yeah. And I've always thought that the idea of a Mario Kart game would be really good. It would be really cool. Because I love Mario, I love his characters, I love his creatures. And I know for a fact that if Nintendo made it, that it makes so much fucking money. Like, even if it was literally just like Magic the Gathering, like if they just shamelessly ripped it off, right? Like they're Nintendo, they could definitely do it. Even if it was literally like same mechanics and everything, but like it was just a Mario coat of paint, like everything had that like nice New Super Mario Bros. U aesthetic for all the cards, right? And it worked exactly the same. It would make so much money. People would be playing the shit out of it. I would be playing the shit out of it. I'd buy so much of it. I would I'd be going onto YouTube and looking up like what the most meta decks are. I'd be all up in that, bro. But I know like that's never gonna happen. They're never gonna make it. They've made like collectible trading cards. Like I mean they're like discontinued now, I'm pretty sure. But if they were still going, I probably would buy packs. Like that would be cool. But I was like, you know what? If Nintendo wasn't gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. So I made that game, and I wanted it to be that you could build decks, and I wanted it to be all that. And I'm personally, I'm really proud of it because I went to like, I don't want to say great lengths.
I mean, you paid a lot of money to get it.
I did. I wanted it to seem like as official as possible. Like if I went up to like if I went up to like my grandma, right?
Yes.
And was like, hey, Nintendo made a Mario Kart game. And then I was like, hey, you wanna play with me? This is like official made by Nintendo. And I put it down, that she wouldn't go, Clark, you're bullshitting. You made this shit, bro. It was great like to make it look as official. I didn't make any of the artwork for it, which I feel like you could like criticize me for.
Well, even then, when we were like playtesting it, you had like you
did
art of all the parts.
I little like doodles for it, but I wanted to look like Nintendo made it themselves, so I just used the official renders for all the creatures. And I that's definitely the card game that I spent the most time working on. What was that? That was
in like December or November.
December's when we.
I mean, like when we playtested it.
We played. I think I started making it like early October. I could definitely find when that was because I had images in my phone of like the earliest decks that I made.
Yes.
Which I mean, if you try to use those now,
you're gonna get whooped. Get wiped. I don't want to brag, but I gave you some pretty good ideas for some cards, man.
You did. You were a very big part in making that game. I don't think I would have been able to make it as good as I did without you helping me play test and giving ideas for cards and such. Like mechanics wise, I am proud of the mechanics because it's really difficult to make a creature battling card game that people, or I guess card game players are going to play and aren't just going to go, man, this is Magic the Gathering, but lame. Because every creature battling card game has some roots in Magic the Gathering because it's such a simple format that Magic effectively invented. But I'm personally really proud of it because I feel like I introduced enough mechanics in it to differentiate it with like the whole like defending system and the life blocks. I'm proud of the life blocks as like a win condition, but I think it makes it really unique, and also like the mana system of like the coins and how they can like stockpile.
I'm glad you went with my suggestion.
I am very glad I went with your suggestion because like before I did that and I was playing, I was like, man, like this just is not working. Like these games are going on forever. It just isn't that much RAM. And I thought that your version would be too fast, but it was like I realized that's what the game needed. You know, it needed to go really fast at the end because if it just stayed with how it was at, like even like mid to late game, like you would still just be only playing like one card per turn.
Originally, at the start of your turn, gain 2 coins. That's like the resource, and you could stockpile it or you could use it, and that was pretty much it originally. But we changed it so when you lose a life block, you now gain an additional coin at the start of your turn. Even if you're at a disadvantage, you're technically you also have an advantage in some way.
Yeah, because
So it
like
still balances out.
yeah, because you can have different like strategies. Like you can play more aggressively and purposely sacrifice your life blocks to get more of that momentum.
Yes.
I think I'm kind of self-lazing here, but I think it's a really cool system that I came up with, and I'm really happy with how like the cards look, and I had them like officially printed and everything, and I think they turned out wonderfully. I'm super duper proud of it. I personally think it's the best card game I've ever made. I think it's one of the best things that I've ever made. Yeah, and that's definitely something I'm going to be thinking about a lot when I like think about like freshman year of college, because that was a really big part of it, for like the end of the first semester there, and I guess like the beginning of the second, because that's when we were playing the like the official cards.
We were playing it like every week.
Yeah.
It was very fun.
I still want to play one more game before.
Oh, absolutely.
We never see each other again.
Also.
Before we're gone for good.
Also.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes.
How did this go?
Pretty good. Pretty good. There were a few people that I didn't get to get. I wasn't able to get Milton. He left early, but I don't know. All this interviewing makes me wish that someone would just interview me. You know.
Fine. Who are you and what are you doing here?
My name is Jacob Meehan, and I'm a CTM major.
Alright, and Jacob, what were your first thoughts upon seeing your room?
Thought it smelled like a hospital. I'm gonna say what everyone else has been saying. It looks like a prison. Very small. A few months earlier, we dropped my brother off at college, and he had a big like apartment like for his room, and I went there and I was like, wow, I'm gonna be living in a place like this next month. That's gonna be awesome. Then I come here and it's the size of the bathroom that he has.
It's like in SpongeBob, whenever they thought they were going to a really fun amusement park,
Yeah.
but then they got to like the really shitty one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was like that. Tell me, why did you choose Bonner as your place of living?
I didn't. Just like everyone else, I didn't pick it. I was purposely ignoring my emails for the month before I came here because I was nervous. I was very nervous to come to college. And I was like, well, I should probably at least check. I checked my emails. No housing application, no meal plan. Text from my roommate from a month ago, I didn't answer. Felt very bad about that, but now I'm here.
How is your relationship with your roommate?
Non-existent. We don't talk like at all. Like I'll be in the room, he'll be in the room, just doing our own thing. We don't hate each other. This is just the way things have been.
Do you remember how we met?
I do. I was in that corner over there, sitting down. We had a wing meeting. I wasn't just sitting there like as a hobby. When the wing meeting was over, I went over to ask Justin a question, and you were also still there, Clark Neely. And you came up to me, and you were trying to make friends. You were scared. You were afraid. And you know what? I was too. Not of you, just of being in college.
I'm rather intimidating.
A little bit. You look like a siren with all that hair. Scary siren.
Okay, bro.
I'm sorry. You just started talking to me about like video games and stuff like that, and then before we knew it, we were the best of friends.
You can tell me, why does Bonner get such a bad rep? Do you believe that the rep that Bonner gets is justified?
I think from the outside looking in, yes, because last year there were a lot of sexual assaults, there were a lot of drug-related incidents, but this year Bonner has really turned itself around. I think that Bonner is debatably one of the best halls. No other hall is as social as this one. Everyone on the 5th floor knows each other, everyone on the 4th floor knows each other. I personally couldn't be happier that I'm placed here.
If Bonner had a mascot, what would it be, and why?
Bottle of Hanks. And I'll tell you why. Because I like Hanks. And I tend to give them out a lot to my friends. I always go to the store, always buy too much, and I think, I'm not gonna be able to drink all this. So I give one Hank to Marty, one Hank to Jake, one Hank to Matt, but he throws it in my face. I prefer 0 sugar beverages. I personally think a bottle of Hanks with a little bit of piss in it maybe would be perfect, because this place is not very clean.
Matt's like, don't you know sugar's bad for you, man? He takes out his giant cigar. What is a personal experience that you've had here at Bonner that you will never forget?
That's a tricky one. It was very early on in the semester. I couldn't sleep one night, so I came out in the lounge. About 1 o'clock, Maul comes in shirtless, and he just sits with me. And this was like when we first met, or like we're first getting to know each other. I forget what we were even talking about, but we just stayed up till like 4 in the morning just talking. Ever since then, me and Maul have been tight.
If you could change one thing about Bonner, what would that be and why?
I want to say air conditioning, but everyone says that. Yeah, air conditioning.
What change did you welcome when coming to college?
The freedom. When I was home, I took a gap year after I got out of college, and I spent a lot of time at home. I was a little hermit. Either I was at home or I was just working. And listen, when you're alone for a long time, you have bad thoughts. You think you're going to be like this forever. You're going to be stuck in a rut, and you're either just going to be working or you're going to be at home. When I came to college, all those fears went away because I was actually doing stuff. I was meeting people, I was going to classes, I felt productive. And I really do think that if I didn't come here, things would be a lot different. I'd feel hopeless, as I was feeling many months before, but this is one of the best changes that could have happened to me.
What are your thoughts on C.A. Justin?
I think he's great. I think he gets a bit of hate from certain people. Sure, you know who they are. He's just doing his job at the end of the day. He is a friend first, CA second, in most cases. I think to me, I see him as a friend first.
Jacob, where are you living next year?
I'm living in Dixon. It wasn't my first choice. I originally wanted to live in Rothermill with my roommate. My roommate's the whole reason I chose Dixon. I also wanted you and Adam to come with me to Dixon, but it's a little expensive, so.
It is.
For those who don't know, living in Dixon costs, I think, it's either $300 or, yeah, it's an extra $300 per semester because Dixon has air conditioning, and if you have a room, you have a bathroom in that room, which is pretty great. Me and my roommate, Jared, we actually served 2 tours together in Movie Tavern back in the day. We worked together, and he's one of my closest friends here. And I was like, you know what? I want to room with that guy. A little $300 extra dollars. I don't mind paying that. I like air conditioning.
What is something that you'll really miss about living in Bonner?
It's gonna be a lot I'm gonna miss. I'm gonna miss Joey. I'm gonna miss Maul. I miss you. Like,
never see each other ever again, bro. This is it.
Don't say that. Like, Dixon's nice, but it's the complete opposite of Bonner in every single way. Very not social. In Bonner, you can just go up to people and be like, hey man, let's be friends. It'll probably work. Like next semester, I won't be able to just go up to your door, knock on it, be like, hey man, you wanna go get lunch? And you won't be there. It'll be very sad. Because I consider you one of my closest friends here. I'm just looking off into the distance.
Oh, I thought there was someone
being
in the door.
dramatic.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, let me ask you this, Jacob. What is a question that you want me to ask you?
Why are you making this?
Why am I making this?
No, that's the question you're gonna ask me. Well, let's restart that. Why are you making this documentary?
Well, Jacob, why are you making this documentary?
So, my family has a long history of memory loss, whether it's unintentional or in the genetics. My dad boxed. He had a history of football, head injuries, and injuries from boxing. And my grandparents both have Alzheimer's. My mom shows me signs of it constantly. And I'm very forgetful. Very forgetful. I don't want to forget mom. Like my time here, it's been, I don't want to sound corny, but like, it's changed me. It's changed me. Like I feel like this is the only way I could give back to her. I feel like I'm forgetting a lot of things. even early on in my life. I actually hid a bottle of Hank somewhere in my room as like a surprise for me when I am cleaning up. But that's like the one thing I can't forget, apparently, because I always remember that. So that kind of sucks. I want that to be a nice little surprise. Like, I'll forget little things like bringing a towel to the shower, or my glasses will still be in the restroom when I'm done. I'll go back and realize I left them in the bathroom. Bonner's a very special place to me. Even though it gets a lot of hate, it's home. Bonner isn't the place, it's the people.
And I believe that's it.
That's it. That's all the questions.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so.
So come over here and shake my hand.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
If you miss the train I'm on, you will know that I am gone. You can hear the whistle blow 100 miles. 100 miles, 100 miles, 100 miles, 100 miles. You can hear the whistle blow 100 miles. Lord, I'm one, Lord, I'm two, Lord, I'm three, Lord, I'm four, Lord, I'm 500 miles away from home, away from home, away from home, away from home, away from home. Lord, I'm 500 miles away from home. Not a shirt on my back, not a penny to my name. Lord, I can go back home this away, this away, this away, this away, this away. Lord, I can go back home this away. If you miss the train I'm on, you will know that I am gone. You can hear the whistle blow 100 miles, 100 miles, 100 miles, 100 miles, 100 miles. You can hear the whistle blow 100 miles. You can hear the whistle blow 100 miles. You can hear the whistle blow.
This is Bonner Hall, signing out.